Welcome to Spain. Today we're in the area of Barcelona and we're driving the brand new Seat Ibiza. That's the 5th generation of this car, but more important, it's the first car based on the new MQB A0 platform. So we can say it's the most modern small car out of the Volkswagen Group. When you look at the front of the new Ibiza, you see the car looks completely different than its predecessor, and this is because it has grown by 87 millimeters in width. So that really makes it look completely different. But on top of this, the design is very important. And you see, for instance, here we do have this line here that starts at the A-pillar and goes down here into the grille. We have another line here from the hood that goes down and points out to the logo. And this gives us a V shape, and this is something that we recognize as dynamic. On top of this, we do have this line here, and this goes to the out, so we have this like this, and if it goes like that, it really makes the car look solidly on the road. Another very important thing is the grille. With the car we're driving, which is the trim level excellence, we do have these chrome applications here on the grille, and this should really lift the car to a different level. Should make it more high class. Very important as well at the front is we do have optional full LED headlights, and they come with the same intensity of light as with the Seat Leon or the new Seat Ateca. But now let's have a look at the side. Looking at the side of the car, what you have to know, the car now is 2 millimeters shorter, 1 millimeter lower than its predecessor. You wouldn't see this even if I tell you, but what you're going to see instantly is that the wheels at the front and the rear has really gone a lot more to the end of the car, so we do have a lot shorter overhangs front and rear. And very important, the wheelbase has been grown by 95 millimeters, and that really gives the car a completely different and very much more dynamic shape than with the predecessor. But I think very important as well is the lines of the car. If you see that line here with the predecessor, that dropped dramatically here. And it was the same with this line. This was a lot steeper with the predecessor. The lines we see now are nearly exactly the same lines as the ones on the Seat Leon, the bestseller of the brand. At the rear of the Ibiza, we find similar lines as with the front. For instance, we do have this line here. That gives us the V shape. This is the dynamic of the rear. And then we do have this line that goes to the outside of the car, and that makes the car look solidly on the road. Very important is the new taillights. They now come with LED technology. And what I really like is the 3D shape here at the outside that really picks on these lines of the car and make the car look a lot more luxurious. When the new Ibiza arrives at the dealers this year in June, there will be only available a 1-liter 3-cylinder engine for the car. This is a TSI engine, and that offers an output either of 75, 95 or 115 horsepower. But later the year, they're going to be 1.6-liter diesel engines with a power range between 80 and 115 horsepower. On top, there will be a CNG engine, which is compressed gas, for the first time in that segment for this car available. And if you say this is not enough, there will be a 1.5-liter TSI engine, a 4-cylinder, we already know from the Golf, available for the new Ibiza as well later the year. Unfortunately, Seat told us they do not plan to do a new Ibiza Cupra, but I say fingers crossed, maybe we're lucky for the future. Our car features the 1-liter 3-cylinder petrol engine with 115 horsepower, which is the top version at the moment. This offers 200 Nm of torque, and this is combined with a 6-speed manual gearbox. Altogether, this is enough for a top speed of 195 km per hour. And I have to say, this setup works very well. The car accelerates great. It's a nice drive, and very important, you can really feel that you get extra power from about 2,500 revs onwards. But very important as well is when you try to drive the car sporty and you go between 2.5 up to, let's say, 4,000 or 5,000 revs. The car is quite agile, but you can really hear the engine then, and this engine offers you a typical 3-cylinder sound. The interior of the Ibiza has grown a lot, so you can really feel this. For instance, my shoulder will not touch the door panel anymore, and I have plenty of space towards my co-driver. We do have 95mm longer wheelbase, and this you can really feel here at the interior. The passengers on the rear seats, they do have now 35mm more legroom. Here at the front we do have 24mm more headroom, and very important, the seats are 42mm wider than in the predecessor, so this really is a lot more comfortable. It's a completely different seating. The boot of the Ibiza has grown a lot regarding to its predecessor. We have now 63 liters more, and that means with the seats up, we're talking about 355 liters of boot capacity. If you fold them down, that increases up to 1,165 liters. Very important, Seat says they will not build an estate for the new Ibiza, but that's not very important because the new Ibiza already offers 1 liter more than the old estate. The interior of the new Ibiza really looks very fresh, very modern. So for instance, for the first time, Seat offers to have the exterior color of the car at the interior as well. And this means that the dashboard panel here really has exactly the same color, but you can also have a very glossy optic if you want. The car is not only grown, it's also a lot more modern. So we do find, of course, all the new driver assistance and safety systems you want, and we do have a fully connected car. So for instance, you can easily connect your smartphone via MirrorLink, Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. There is a very high standard sat-nav on board, and this is behind a up to 8-inch touchscreen, which is fully glass covered here. And different to, for instance, the Golf new system, you do have 2 knobs here, which you can use, one for the volume and one to zoom in and zoom out. And I really like this. So I really have to say this whole car has grown, not only regarding to the size, also to be a lot more modern. And for all the people who really like music, you can have a Beats sound system as well. Of course, the Ibiza is not made as a sports car, but I think it's quite agile, very nice to drive for that size of a car. And one reason for that is it is based on the new MQB A0 platform, and that is one reason why the whole car is 33% stiffer than its predecessor. So this is one reason. Another very important reason for the good behavior of a car is we do have a lot wider axle. At the front we do have an extra of 6 centimeters, at the rear it's 4.8, so that's really a lot. And this is why the car sits so solidly on the road. Very important if you like sporty cars. The Seat Ibiza FR, you can have wheels there up to 18-inch, and they not only give you the extra kick regarding to the drive, they also look very nice. So overall, I have to say the car really drives very well, and if you push it too hard, you will have a bit of understeering, but to be really honest, that comes quite late, and the car is still very nice and easy to control. These are the new colors for the new Seat Ibiza. We do have Mystery Blue, we do have Mystic Magenta, and we do have Desire Red. The red and the blue we already know from the new Seat Leon, but the Mystic is brand new. I really have to say, overall, I absolutely like this little car because it is not so little anymore. Driving it is so spacious, so grown up now, and on top of this there's all this modern technology like the driver assistance and safety systems, like the good new engines, and of course we do have a very modern infotainment with this 8-inch glass covered touchscreen. And I have to say, if you see this package, it's really great to drive.